find that to be hilarious. That's why I am trying to explain to people that trying to have this conversation within the neat little confines of like a specific subreddit that can be easily manipulated by those who have brigaded it time and time again, you will get a very different understanding. You will get a very different understanding of the world. But if you were to remove yourself from such hug boxes for a brief moment, okay, you will probably recognize that this is kind of silly. Okay? All the while, I literally forgot to run the 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, so I'm running it now. Also, the other reason why people are extra mad about Frogan, who is like white passing herself, half fully white, calling another full white person and their activities to be one born out of privilege and a privileged blind spot, saying it's cracker behavior. The reason why that is considered completely and utterly unpermissible is because she wears a hijab. Because no matter how white your skin is personally, you will have your whiteness status revoked by other people who don't consider you to be a part of the in-group. But if you want to understand how laughable this is in the real world, thank you for sending that to me, Bussy Angel. This is Wheat Thins. They are a Nabisco brand. I believe they're owned by Nabisco. Wheat Thins themselves joined in on the cracker discourse. That is how ridiculous this argument was. So much so that a multi-billion-dollar corporation in a marketing initiative could crack jokes about it. Think about how fucking polite these guys have to be professionally. That's why it is unimaginably idiotic. And that happened 2 years ago, 2 whole years ago. And yet there are still newcomers of the conversation trying to champion the cause. This is what I try to explain to people to hopefully shake some sense into them. Wheat Thins sent me a cracker pass, if you guys remember. Like they had a marketable moment, like a brand moment, making fun. If they were to do that for any real slur, they would understandably get destroyed. Like, imagine if Oreos did this with discourse around mixed race people. Exactly. So please, the reason why people are mad is because she's trashing Ludwig for no reason. Stop brushing it under the rug. No, I've also talked about that quite extensively. Okay, I don't think it was for no reason. I think her reaction was unwarranted, but I understand why she reacted the way that she did, because her criticism was, if she just kept it to being critical, then it would be perfectly valid. People would still get mad at her for it. But I'm not going to sit here and say it was for not for no reason. It was not. Someone posted a clip of you looking at D saying the N-word and it has 0 upvotes and 120 comments. And also, it is hilarious because like the people that are mad are doing this on behalf of a guy who was called privileged and behaving in a cracker-like way. And they're mad on behalf of him while also simultaneously shitting on him. You have no idea how much I think that stuff is crazy. The analysis is off, though. Kevils gains traction by accusing Destiny of shady shit. Twitch community rides the wagon. Destiny gets banned. Kevil gets caught lying. Haha, whoopsie, no major condemnation. What do you mean pushback? Who cares? I think people who fight for me on my behalf are too lost in the sauce. I hope she gets none. and I'll get my revenge by leading the best life I possibly can. Hope she does the same. No pushback for being racist, for shitting on a person who is donating to a charity. You should care because you shouldn't want that type of behavior to become normalized. You're not her parent, sure, but you have those who will go by your value system. And if being racist towards whites is okay, then that behavior will become normal in your community. I promise you, my time's better spent focusing on what I want to do than pushing back against her. And I think pushback will happen naturally from people seeing clips of her and deciding to watch or not watch her. I don't got to lead a campaign for that to happen. They're like mad that he's not doing a conquest against Frogan for saying that his behavior was cracker-like. I don't think a single person who's not insane is wanting a campaign. It's just a direct statement of condemnation would probably suffice. Like, this is literally fucking, I'm sorry, and I'm using this in like the way that an anti-SJW would use. This is straight up like Tumblr queer posting as a rad lib in 2014, okay? Like, this guy is literally like, please give a condemnation about anti-white racism. Please. I'm demanding a condemnation from you, a white guy, okay? Like, how have we gotten to a point where the very same people that literally would complain about radlibs being unhinged on the timeline, turning around and yelling at a white content creator that he should actually go out and issue a swift condemnation against the usage of the term C word, the usage of the term cracker. It's always the snowflakes get offended by everything crowd that turns around and behaves in this way. And it's so ridiculous. It's so weird they're defending Lud for the C word, but we're completely okay with saying Destiny was going to jerk it to fake cutie porn. Yes, because they have no genuine value system beyond defending whatever the fuck Destiny has chosen to defend or attack at that very moment. Okay? Please. The anti-SJWs have firmly become the SJWs. It's pathetic. The Twitch space seems to have an overall idea that you can't be racist towards white people, and this passive "I'm gonna do my own thing" will imply that you're okay with it. I'm not even saying that what she said was as serious as other things said before, because this deep in a thread, I clearly don't understand how clout works. I don't think many people will see the statements you've made about her. And the time spent better? Sure, I guess. Was it worth then to change one of your videos that had a joke about Hassan and the streamer Plivish thing? Because he's also a strong force in the no way to be racist towards white people since they hold social power camp. Like, his resentment and his animosity, like bringing me up in this circumstance, it kind of betrays all of the importance of the C-word discourse that he claims to care about. Dude's got a botnet of broken-brained white guys in their late 40s. That's what I'm saying. It's like a sad state of affairs. It's an incredibly sad state of affairs to operate this way. Bro, this whole thing is extremely manic and unhealthy. Destiny's a stranger. Ludwig's a stranger. Go spend time with your kids. Destiny's not only a stranger, but a fascist. Go... You see a cop slaughter a black guy and you just say the cop isn't racist, but cracker you jump at. Great take. Like, I genuinely don't understand how you can be this deep in the cut. This deep in the cut for a whole ass different adult. It strikes me as very odd. Like, look at this. Look at how many fucking tweets. I've already blocked him because he probably was also doing this for me. EMS, EMT work, currently in nursing school, Democrat for life, this guy. Democrat for life. But watch this.
This clip is out of context. Oof. I'm not sure what context you could put this in that would make it more...
This is another, like, old Destiny versus new Destiny clip. I gotta go pee real quick.
Palatable, but let's listen.
Can I get your reaction to this? Streamer Destiny says the N-word while on live stream.
I've never defended calling people racial slurs ever. So if somebody calls me a racial slur, I'm not in favor of that. I don't call people racial slurs, and I think that if people call people racial slurs, I think it's generally bad. I don't think I've ever defended that, so...
That takes us back to the N-word with a hard R.
Sure.
Why?
Please, for the love of God, just be consistent in whatever it is you're going to say. I don't care about logs and saying the N-word or whatever. I say the N-word all the time. I'll admit that. I leak my own life about that.
Just because people speak in this kind of way in the gaming world and in streams doesn't mean that you, like a lot of people talk to, young people especially, doesn't mean that you don't have the responsibility to sort of stand alone from the crowd.
If you're going to have chat.
Now, these people are just want to be able to say slurs no matter what. So when the C word is something normal people don't get upset over, they opportunistically scream double standards over it all day, every day. And yet, they are able to only gain momentum in small circles. That's why, if you recall, when I first originally got banned off of Twitch because of brigading done by Destiny's fan base on LSF for the crime of using the C word, cracker, that actually made its way to another subreddit called Subreddit Drama. So even other subredditors looked at that and recognized how fucking insane that was. Because most people, even on Reddit, find that to be hilarious. That's why I am trying to explain to people that trying to have this conversation within the neat little confines of like a specific subreddit that can be easily manipulated by those who have brigaded it time and time again, you will get a very different understanding. You will get a very different understanding of the world. But if you were to remove yourself from such hug boxes for a brief moment, okay, you will probably recognize that this is kind of silly.
Whoa, close one.
Okay?
Snipers down.
All the while, I literally forgot to run the 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, so I'm running it now.
Revenge is beautiful.
Also, the other reason why people are extra mad about Frogan, who is like white passing herself, half fully white, calling another full white person and their activities to be one born out of privilege and a privileged blind spot, saying it's cracker behavior. The reason why that is considered completely and utterly unpermissible is because she wears a hijab. Because no matter how white your skin is personally, you will have your whiteness status revoked by other people who don't consider you to be a part of the in-group. But if you want to understand how laughable this is in the real world, thank you for sending that to me, Bussy Angel. This is Wheat Thins. They are a Nabisco brand. I believe they're owned by Nabisco. Wheat Thins themselves joined in on the cracker discourse. That is how ridiculous this argument was. So much so that a multi-billion-dollar corporation in a marketing initiative could crack jokes about it. Think about how fucking polite these guys have to be professionally. That's why it is unimaginably idiotic. And that happened 2 years ago, 2 whole years ago. And yet there are still newcomers of the conversation trying to champion the cause. This is what I try to explain to people to hopefully shake some sense into them. Wheat then sent me a cracker pass, if you guys remember. Like they had a marketable moment, like a brand moment, making fun. If they were to do that for any real slur, they would understandably get destroyed. Like, imagine if Oreos did this with discourse around mixed race people. Exactly. So please. The reason why people are mad is because she's trashing Ludwig for no reason. Stop brushing it under the rug. No, I've also talked about that quite extensively. Okay, I don't think it was for no reason. I think her reaction was unwarranted, but I understand why she reacted the way that she did, because her criticism was, if she just kept it to being critical, then it would be perfectly valid. People would still get mad at her for it. But I'm not going to sit here and say it was for not for no reason. It was not. Someone posted a clip of you looking at D saying the N-word and it has 0 upvotes and 120 comments. And also, it is hilarious because like the people that are mad are doing this on behalf of a guy who was called privileged and behaving in a cracker-like way. And they're mad on behalf of him while also simultaneously shitting on him. You have no idea how much I think that stuff is crazy. The analysis is off, though. Kevils gains traction by accusing Destiny of shady shit. Twitch community rides the wagon. Destiny gets banned. Kevil gets caught lying. Haha, whoopsie, no major condemnation. What do you mean pushback? Who cares? I think people who fight for me on my behalf are too lost in the sauce. I hope she gets none. And I'll get my revenge by leading the best life I possibly can. Hope she does the same. No pushback for being racist, for shitting on a person who is donating to a charity. You should care because you shouldn't want that type of behavior to become normalized. You're not her parent, sure, but you have those who will go by your value system. And if being racist towards whites is okay, then that behavior will become normal in your community. I promise you, my time's better spent focusing on what I want to do than pushing back against her. And I think pushback will happen naturally from people seeing clips of her and deciding to watch or not watch her. I don't got to lead a campaign for that to happen. They're like mad that he's not doing a conquest against Krogan for saying that his behavior was cracker-like.
We've lost the lead.
I don't think a single person who's not insane is wanting a campaign. It's just a direct statement of condemnation would probably suffice. Like, this is literally fucking, I'm sorry, and I'm using this in like the way that an anti-SJW would use. This is straight up like Tumblr queer posting as a radlib in 2014, okay? Like, this guy is literally like, please give a condemnation about anti-white racism. Please. I'm demanding a condemnation from you, a white guy, okay? Like, how have we gotten to a point where the very same people that literally would complain about radlibs being unhinged on the timeline, turning around and yelling at a white content creator that he should actually go out and issue a swift condemnation against the usage of the term C word, the usage of the term cracker. It's always the snowflakes get offended by everything crowd that turns around and behaves in this way. And it's so ridiculous. It's so weird they're defending Lud for the C word, but we're completely okay with saying Destiny was going to jerk into fake cutie porn. Yes, because they have no genuine value system beyond defending whatever the fuck Destiny has chosen to defend or attack at that very moment. Okay? Please.
Here we go.
The anti-SJWs have firmly become the SJWs. It's pathetic. The Twitch space seems to have an overall idea that you can't be racist towards white people, and this passive I'm gonna do my own thing will imply that you're okay with it. I'm not even saying that what she said was as serious as other things said before, because this deep in a thread, I clearly don't understand how clout works. I don't think many people will see the statements you've made about her. And the time spent better? Sure, I guess. Was it worth then to change one of your videos that had a joke about Hassan and the streamer privilege thing? Because he's also a strong force in the no way to be racist towards white people since they hold social power camp. Like, his resentment and his animosity, like bringing me up in this circumstance, it kind of betrays all of the importance of the C-word discourse that he claims to care about. Dude's got a botnet of broken brain white guys in their late 40s. That's what I'm saying. It's like a sad state of affairs. It's an incredibly sad state of affairs to operate this way. Bro, this whole thing is extremely manic and unhealthy. Destiny's a stranger. Ludwig's a stranger. Go spend time with your kids. Destiny's not only a stranger, but a fascist. Go, you see a cop slaughter a black guy and you just say the cop isn't racist, but cracker you jump at. Great take. Like, I genuinely don't understand how you can be this deep in the cut. This deep in the cut for a whole ass different adult. It strikes me as very odd.
Hostile mosquito is online.
Like, look at this. Look at how many fucking tweets. I've already blocked him because he probably was also doing this for me. EMS, EMT work, currently in nursing school, Democrat for life, this guy. Democrat for life. Round and constantly call white people crackers because he's cringe as fuck, especially if you're a white person. Okay, like, it's cringe. The reason why I have this conversation about the term cracker is specifically to help people understand that the underlying conversation is not about the word cracker at all. It's about, and always will be, about.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this whole video, we're going to go to a remote house in the Alaskan wilderness, because there, my friends, a teen was clackety on her computer, you know, emailing away. She was talking with some monk. Wow, she had met online, you know, and romance had been blossoming on this long-distance relationship. And guess what? This lad, he had an unusual request for her, but if she fulfilled it, millions would be hers, and so she was licking her chops. Only problem was that he wasn't exactly who he said he was. She was too stupid, though, to think about that at all. Now, let's give it a go. So our insane story, it begins on June 2nd, 2019 in Anchorage, Alaska. It's a place we've been to a number of times for a number of killers. Always stories that make you go, what the shit? And this is not any different, my friends. You know something, folks? Violent crime across the US, it's on the decrease, broadly speaking, over the last 2 decades. Anchorage, Alaska is the exception. It has a violent crime rate 60% higher than the national average. According to law enforcement numbers, most male victims of homicide done by a stranger. For females, tends to be intimate partner. This story does not help those numbers. See, in the middle of summer, June 2nd, 2019, 19-year-old Cynthia Hoffman, known to her family as CC, failed to show up to a prearranged meeting with her dad, Tim Hoffman. Tim was a handyman and would often take his daughter with him as his assistant to do various jobs, now that she was finished with school. And so when she failed to show up to collect some money he owed her for work she had done for him, he immediately knew there was something wrong. But trying not to be an overprotective dad, he held off until the next morning when she still hadn't shown up.
We have taken the lead.
Tim went to the police himself and reported his daughter missing, and like right off the bat, you know, when the search parties went out, Tim joined in. He launched himself into trying to find his daughter. He spent several hours, you know, riding around town asking every single person he saw on the sidewalk, have you seen my daughter? Have you seen this girl? Filled with dread from the very beginning, it was like a sixth sense he had about his daughter. Like, he knew something was not right. And in fact, even though she'd only been missing for like a day, at this point he came to believe she was already dead. Over the next couple of days, Tim began texting his daughter, Cynthia's friends, including one named Angela, or Angel, as she often went by, you know, asking, have you heard from her? Where did you last see her? Blah, 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 blah. And Angela was texting back, you know, I really hope you find her. She was her best friend, right? Please let me know if you find her and what I can do to help. And so the police and the investigators, they begin where they always do, right? What was Cynthia doing when she was last known to be seen? Who is she talking to? When's the last time we know she was around?
One of the last people to see Cynthia was her friend Angela, who told Cynthia's father she dropped her off here at a nearby park.
Tim last heard where his daughter had been from the same concerned friend of his daughter's, Angela, or Angel. Angela and Cynthia had been on a hike together before Angela dropped Cynthia off at Polar Bear Park in Anchorage. Angela had texted Tim shortly after to let him know where she was, and that in and of itself was a lot for Tim. Because he was like one of those dads who's like, you will always talk to me. I am your dad, you will always be in contact. If you don't answer a message or a call from me, you're going to get the boot. So the fact that his daughter's friend was the one who was texting him, not his daughter herself, that kind of struck him as like, interesting. And then he was texting Cynthia, he was trying to call her, all going nowhere.
When Dad calls, you answer. I don't care if you're in church and the holy pastor's preaching. I don't care if you're at school taking the high school diploma test. If Dad calls, you answer.
So on Sunday, when daughter number 3 didn't call, didn't pick up, Dad knew what dads know in their gut when their child needs them.
And unfortunately, Tim's instincts were correct. Also, Angela was not who she claimed to be at all. See, the person Tim had been introduced to by his daughter, Cynthia, the person who he'd come to know as Angela or Angel, was in fact not her. It was 19-year-old Denali Dakota Sky Bremer. Now, Tim and Cynthia were far from the only people Denali Bremer was hiding her real name from. Denali certainly had her secrets, but other things, though, she couldn't help but share. See, Denali also told her boyfriend, long-distance guy though, a guy named Tyler, I guess he called himself. Denali called him Babe, but Tyler called Denali Angel. That's the only way he knew her. Now, despite this long-distance relationship, she was in Alaska, he was in the middle of America, romance found a way to blossom beautifully so, and the two considered themselves to be in a relationship for a few weeks. It was Angela's mother who later approached the police, telling them that her daughter and friend knew where to find Cynthia. See, when Angela had told her the full story, she didn't believe her. It was too crazy. But then she saw the news of missing Cynthia. Don't worry, I'll get to her story in a second, folks. The body of Cynthia Hoffman was found on June 4th, 2019, 2 days after she was supposedly dropped off at Polar Bear Park by Angela. The 19-year-old's body was found on the banks of the Eklutna River, not far from Thunderbird Falls, a popular trail route along the river canyon leading to a 200-foot waterfall. Cynthia had been shot once, execution style, her hands still bound behind her back, wrapped with duct tape.
We're still investigating to find out exactly why she was bound and then why she ultimately was shot.
The only thing I can imagine is she was yelling her daddy's name. And it goes through my head over and over and over again.
Police say Cynthia's resistance to whatever her and her friends were mixed up in likely got her killed. Shot, then tossed in the river after she panicked and threatened to call police. Threatened to call for help.
This time I couldn't keep my daughter safe. I feel that I let her down. Because I keep all my kids safe.
The same day Cynthia was found, Denali Bremer and her friend, 16-year-old Caden McIntosh, were called in for interviews. See, officers were very keen to speak to Denali, A, about why are you telling people your name is Angela when we know you as Denali, and B, what's the deal with the whole story you told Mom? Care to elaborate? Caden McIntosh, the 16-year-old boy, he was not a boyfriend, just a friend. He immediately broke and confessed to murdering Cynthia Hoffman there. Denali Bremer, though, she had another story, right? She initially said that she tried to push the blame onto Caden McIntosh, right? She said the three of them, herself, Denali Bremer, Cynthia Hoffman, and Caden McIntosh, all of them had gone out to Thunderbird Falls. They were hanging out, they were having a good time. And you know what? They were going to have play a little gag. They were going to take photos of each other wrapped with duct tape, right? That old one. However, after they innocently wrapped up Cynthia, Caden all of a sudden took a gun from Denali. She had been carrying a gun for some reason, and then executed Cynthia by shooting her in the back of the head for kind of no reason whatsoever. And Denali was absolutely mind blown by this. She was freaking out, but she kind of just went along with it because she was afraid Caden would murder her too, for the exact same reason he had just murdered Cynthia. No reason at all.
16-year-old has been charged with the murder. The victim, 19-year-old Cynthia Hoffman, was killed on Thunderbird Falls Trail on June 2nd. According to the findings from the investigation, Hoffman went to the trail with 16-year-old Caden McIntosh and a friend, later identified as Denali Bremer. The three walked to a riverbank where Hoffman was reportedly bound with duct tape to pose for pictures. Investigators say that after an altercation, McIntosh McIntosh shot Hoffman in the back of the head, pushed her body into the river, and fled with Bramer.
But that old story was quickly thrown under the bus when the police had a look at Denali Bramer's phone, which horrifyingly and terrifyingly and all those other adjectives you can think of, it not only revealed that she had killed him and participated in the murder and reported her saying, "Oh, look what we just did," it also revealed why they had murdered Cynthia. This story is about people, not being who you really think they are. Being someone on a chat room, and then when the truth is revealed, oh boy, they're not exactly that. That can happen to you, Your personal and private information can get to places it really should get. You'd be shocked by how much strangers out there on the internet know about you. I'm serious. Ever find your information getting leaked? Getting weird emails and spam after spam after spam and thinking, who the heck has my email address? And what else do they know about me? The internet is the Wild West, and out there are data brokers that will sell your sensitive information to scammers, spammers, and anyone else who might want to target you. I'm talking shady banks, insurance companies, predatory lenders, etc. You never know. Anything someone might want to know about you? Maybe they already do. Personally, I've been using today's sponsor, Aura, for over a year. Aura gives me a heads up for which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests for me. I don't even need to think about it. It not only reduces my spam, it also protects me from any dang dirty trolls out there who might want to access my sacred, beautiful information. Not today, pal. I don't know if you saw this, but AT&T revealed that over 73 million customer records, both existing and former customers, were released on the dark web. They recommend those affected use strong passwords, monitor account activity, and consider credit freezes or fraud alerts from credit bureaus. Well, Aura does all of this for me too. And best of all, I don't have to download several different apps just because a company couldn't keep my data secure. If my info was compromised in the AT&T data breach, I wouldn't worry, because Aura is always on, always doing the hard work of keeping me safe. So let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online this very day. And if you sign up right now, Aura will give you a 2-week free trial with my link. That is aura.com/thatchapter. Aura has an A+ BBB rating and is highly rated in the Apple app and Google Play stores. So guess what? They're going to take really good care of you. Once again, go to aura.com/thatchapter and honestly be horrified by how much of your private information is out there in the Wild West. But Aura has your back and keeps you safe. Now, let's get back to it. A Snapchat video on Denali Bramer's phone showed her apparently confessing to the murder. The video was enough for detectives to call her back in the next day. And Denali's resolve that, oh no, I didn't do any of this, didn't do any of that kind of shit. Her resolve lasted right up until the moment she was confronted with the truth about her babe, Tyler. See, Denali was speaking to this Tyler, right, who she had listed in her phone as babe. And Tyler was telling Denali, they'd been in a relationship for a couple of weeks, and he said he was a millionaire, if you can believe that, right? Not too shabby. He was a millionaire living in Kansas. In addition to making the hairs on the back of their neck stand up, the conversations between the two would give the police all the answers and evidence they needed. The conversations between Denali and Tyler began fairly normally, up until a couple of weeks before, when they suddenly took a very disturbing turn. See, Tyler revealed to Denali he had some very eclectic, unique, I'd say, unique desires and tastes. Probably have a good idea where this is gonna go. Tyler was so rich that he was willing to pay some serious cheddar cheese to have his fantasies become reality. Specifically, he was looking to pay someone $9 million to sexually assault and kill a young girl. Denali, oh boy, she was licking her chops at that very big number, and so the plan was hatched.
Hello YouTubers, I am Dreadhawk Mark 7. I'm here to show you the homemade M9 SWAT.
Detectives interviewed another friend of Denali Bramer's, 19-year-old Caleb Leyland. Leyland told them he knew about the $9 million offer from Tyler, and he had agreed to lend Denali his car in return for $500,000 of the eventual bounty she would receive. This Caleb knew full well what they were planning on doing, what they were going to do, that Cynthia was the victim of this murder plot, but he was like, whack away. And so, between May and June of 2019, Denali Bremer, Caden McIntosh, and Caleb Leyland, they became this little murder conspiracy plot to murder one of their good friends, Cynthia Hoffman, in exchange for $9 million. There had also been 2 other unnamed juveniles who've been involved in the murder plot. They've never been named because they were underage at the time. This was not spur of the moment. This was premeditated for months, and they knew exactly what they were going to do and how they were going to do it. On June 2nd, 2019, the plan was put in motion when Denali Bremer invited Cynthia Hoffman to join her and Caden McIntosh for a hike. Bremer drove the 3 of them up to a trail near Thunderbird Falls in Caleb Leyland's car. Once there, they split off from the common trail and followed a different route along the banks of the river. At one point, McIntosh pulled a gun on Hoffman, and he and Bremer tied Hoffman's hands behind her back using duct tape they'd taken with them. Caden McIntosh then put the 9mm handgun to the back of her head and shot Cynthia once, killing her instantly. Her body was then thrown into the river. After the murder, Bremer and McIntosh burned several of Cynthia's possessions, including some of her clothing, her purse, and even her cell phone. Then Denali sent a text to Cynthia's dad, Tim, telling him they dropped Cynthia off in Polar Bear Park, also known as Russian Jack Springs Park in Anchorage. Shortly after, Denali also tried to delete her conversations with Tyler, babe, from her phone. Throughout the entire murder, the entire ordeal, Denali was continually sending videos, messages, pictures over Snapchat to Tyler. The 2 were in contact the entire time, and during the whole murder, while they were walking out, while they had Cynthia duct taped up, Tyler was Snapchatting back, do this, do that. Though he was physically hundreds of miles away, there was absolutely no doubt he was equally as responsible for what had happened. At least part of the plan seems to have changed along the way, though, as thankfully there was no evidence to show that Cynthia Hoffman was ever sexually assaulted. So now you have 5 youths arrested in Alaska: Denali Bremer, Caden McIntosh, Caleb Leyland, and the 2 who can't be named because they were underage, for the murder of Cynthia Hoffman. And then one Tyler, babe, all the way in Kansas. And then, of course, the twist. Right? Well, there's a few. The police, using the phone number of babe, right, were able to link that phone number to an address. It wasn't like a burner phone or anything like that. The address showed up, if you can believe it, in Indiana, not Kansas. Lying bastard. It would then also lead them to not any Tyler, to a Darren Schill Miller of New Salisbury, Indiana. I guess he does look sort of different than he did in the pictures he sent to Denali. Wonder if she was surprised when she saw, how he really looked. Darren was 21 years of age, a graduate of North Harrison High School in Indiana. In school, he was described as very shy, someone who was bullied, and since graduating, he had no employment history. So this would come as a surprise to Denali, I guess, when he was revealed, because, well, if you squint, I guess they kind of sort of look the same. More. So yeah, he stole those pictures off someone else, some random guy he found on the internet, hence why I pixelated them, of course. Sorry, guy. By the way, funny coinky-dink, Alaska is the #1 state in the entire US of A where people are most likely to fall prey to romance fraud. Yes, Alaska, #1 catfish state. Come on, guys, I know there's not much to do up there, but please do your research. After the truth had been revealed to her, Denali seemed to go all in with the prosecution to cut a deal. It was also more than likely she was driven just as much by spite for Darren Schill Miller after realizing he had deceived her. And also, guess what? He also wasn't a millionaire, if you can believe that. Denali trying to cut a deal, I don't think it had anything to do with having a guilty conscience, because I don't think she has one. Denali told the authorities that she and Darren Schill Miller, as Tyler, had been in an online relationship for months, and she truly believed him to be who he said he was, a millionaire from Kansas. She's pretty stupid. And the request from Tyler to murder, that wasn't the only request Darren had sent, because he's a real sick SOB. Denali told them that Tyler had also instructed her to sexually assault 2 children, one being aged 14 years old, the other only 8 years old. Court documents showed that Denali had gone through with it.
Switching mags.
In fact, that was a real problem for Darren. He was known as a real sick bastard. It was like an open secret even in his own home that he liked them young. So Darren Shillmiller was picked up by the feds before eventually being extradited for trial in Alaska, and he readily admitted to the whole thing. He'd intentionally catfished Denali, who he knew as Angel, and solicited her to kill her supposed best friend. The pair had been planning to kill Hoffman for 3 weeks before the murder took place. He also confessed to being in contact with Bremer all the way through the crime, as well as receiving several pictures and videos created throughout.
There's a takeaway at this point. It's that for all the good the internet can do, it can be a very dark place. And parents would be wise to monitor the activity of their children online.
Local, state, and federal officials are calling the crime heinous and shocking, and their response, aggressive teamwork.
If you're listening to my voice, not in Alaska, but somewhere else, and you're sitting in your mom's basement, and you're planning to do some type of crime, influence, plan, or conduct a crime in Alaska, and you think you're safe because you're that far away, you're not. We will track you down, we will find you, and we will bring you back here to face justice.
If that wasn't messed up enough, get this, right? He even admitted to the police when he was taken back to Alaska that after the murder of Cynthia, himself and Denali, who, still believed he was Tyler at the time, had briefly discussed killing other people after they killed Cynthia. And he said that if she didn't kill more people, he was using blackmail. He was like, here, guess what? I'll just tell him he killed Cynthia. So, kill some more folks for me, please. Thankfully, she was arrested. They were both arrested before this could go any further. So, Denali's motive for the murder of her best friend was money, the $9 million she believed she was gonna get. His motive, he's a troll, shit's giggles. That's it. Alaskan authorities indicted Shillmiller, Bremer, and McIntosh on a variety of conspiracy and murder charges, as well as, child pornography charges for Bremer and Shillmiller. The two juveniles whose names have not been made public were also indicted, along with Shillmiller, Bremer, and McIntosh. Their role in the crime isn't quite as clear, though it seems they weren't present when the murder took place. They were aware of what was happening, but not directly involved. Now, since the news broke, plenty of people have had lovely things to say about Cynthia. She was, by all accounts, a great person with a really bright future ahead of her. The only thing she was guilty of was being too trusting to someone she believed was her best friend. Darren Shillmiller, on the other hand, the complete opposite, a real piece of shit. Former classmates would tell local news how odd he was and that they found it, when they found out what he was into, nobody was completely surprised.
I don't think anybody thought he would ever kill anybody, but the child pornography, definitely, he had a problem there.
Jaden Poley went to middle school and high school with Shillmiller, and she told KTUU he'd had a reputation for being a little off, and increasingly, a little creepy.
He's asked numerous girls from my high school for pictures of their kids.
KTUU found numerous online profiles for Shillmiller spanning many years across multiple social media platforms. The common theme, a strong desire to find friends and connect with women.
Dozens of young girls came forward, revealing that Shillmiller had been actively soliciting explicit photographs from people who were way too young in the years leading up to the crime. He was known to relentlessly ask for bikini pictures from women, relentlessly ask young mothers for diaper pics.
She said at one point, using the name Austin, Shillmiller confessed, quote, "I have a problem I want to tell someone and I don't know how." And he then asked for pictures, she said, of her daughters during diaper changes as a condition of revealing the secret. Arnold caught on and cut things off.
And he was also known to be catfishing, like to catfish people in his local area to try and get explicit pictures from them. I guess it's like they obviously knew it was him. Denali Bremer, it seems, was the only person stupid enough to believe his catfishing.
You should find that Miss Bremer engaged in one of the most serious crimes that we have in Alaska. She executed Cynthia Hoffman in a murder-for-hire plot. She conspired with numerous other individuals in and outside of Alaska, including juveniles, forever altering everybody's life. She may not have pulled the trigger, but this never would have happened if it weren't for Denali Bremer.
Denali Bremer pleaded guilty to murder in the first degree. In February 2024, she was sentenced to 99 years in prison.
The hurt I caused you and your family, I can never rectify in any way. I understand it hurts. You lost a precious child, and the community lost a daughter as well. I'm truly sorry for my role in your loss.
Kate McIntosh, who was only 16 at the time but charged as an adult and admitted to being the actual triggerman, also accepted a plea deal and is awaiting sentencing, but is expected to be given a life sentence. Caleb Leyland, whose car was allowed to be used during the murder, he'll be sentenced in June of this year, 2024. And as for Darren Schill Miller, now aged 25, he pleaded guilty to soliciting the murder of Cynthia Hoffman.
Darren Schillmiller never spoke at his sentencing hearing. Instead, his attorney read a letter in which Schillmiller acknowledged what he did to Cynthia Hoffman, known as Cece, was wrong.
Every single day since the death of Cece, I have felt extremely horrible. I wanted to apologize as well.
But the state showed little compassion for his tears or the fact that Schillmiller had been diagnosed with a low IQ, saying he was smart enough to fool Denali Bremer online and manipulate her to carry out the murder.
He convinced her that he was a 20-year-old, good-looking young man that had won the lottery, had millions of dollars, and he used that money to dangle in front of her and get her to do whatever he wanted.
He too was sentenced to 99 years in prison.
Frankly, Mr. Schillmiller enjoyed it.
He could have given him as few as 5 years, but gave him 99 to serve.
And there you have it, a really horrible case full of flyers and snakes and, well, catfish. I guess that's literally what this is, the catfishing murder of Cynthia Hoffman. Of course, extremely sad for Cynthia, you know, by all accounts a great person whose only crime was, you know, believing that her best friend would just suddenly murder her, which I think we can all be guilty of not having that thought. But there you go. And then you get Darren Schillmiller, who's like the opposite, you know, end of the scale. Real piece of shit. Sick bastard. There's a lot of adjectives you can use here, folks. Denali and Darren, the worst people imaginable, and now, especially for Darren, he's in the worst place imaginable. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me, folks. I appreciate you being here. Hope you enjoyed this overview. And you know what? The next video will be up in a couple of days, so look forward to that. As always, if you're looking for more stories, please check out the That Chapter podcast, which you can find on all podcast platforms. But until then, you know what? Just take care of each other and yourselves. Because I love you. Like you.
We don't let shit like that slide.
YouTube's newest great playboys. What's the definition of playboy? Okay. Maybe I'm not exactly, but these are the digits on the back of my credit card. I should not have shown that. I really should not have shown that. Please blur that or you're all fired. You're all fired. So I don't exactly fit the bill, but today we're talking about someone who does.
What's good, G7? Welcome to the Gayest Family on YouTube.
One of YouTube's original most controversial playboys has recently come into the limelight for a different level of content creation than he was once known for.
Say I'm sorry, King Vitali, right now.
I'm sorry, King Vitali.
I cannot hear you.
I'm sorry, King
Yo, go over that is crazy. You're looking a little thirsty. Go ahead. Go ahead. Like a pit bull. Like a I don't hear the slurps.
This is before, of course, he beat a woman randomly in a park. His name is Vitalik.
No, put your hand on the car.
Just lean on the car, please.
Lean on the car right there.
Hey, right here.
Can you do us a favor?
Listen.
Can you do us a favor and wait for us over there, please? Can you do us that favor?
Put your hands behind the back. I'm gonna tell you guys. Put your hands behind the back. I'm gonna tell you guys. I got to change the life.
He's a prankster, prank YouTuber, and he's been trying to correct his wrongs, I think, by catching predators live for thousands of people to see.
He's 24 years old, meeting with a little boy for sex.
Yeah, my boys. Okay. You're ready to get fucked? I'm gonna you up right now. You ready?
And now, I will say, I do like predator catching content. Some of it, okay? Some of it. I would like to see all of them go to jail. But at the very end of the day, I'd rather just see the light shine, watch the cockroaches run away. That's where I'm at. That's where my head's at. I like to see the public humiliation. We've heard before from predator poachers that a lot of the dudes, even after they're humiliated publicly, they still reoffend. So preferably, let's send them to jail. But what's Vitaly doing, guys? Well, let's get into it because it is a complicated gray area between what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah, I know. It's my wrong. It's your wrong, so you admit it.
But like, actually, what is wrong? Vitaly, aka Vitalize TV, was created on August 7th, 2011, and since then he's gained 10 million subscribers and 11 trillion views, or something like that. And it might actually be 1.5 billion. I just like to guess and make numbers up sometimes just to kind of keep everybody on their toes, keep the fact checkers busy. Vitaly has collaborated with some of YouTube's greatest legends, such as Logan Paul.
Hey, let's go. Y'all go hard or no?
Bruh. Boozy.
We are currently getting ready for our Brazil trip, which is in less than 48 hours. Tally thinks he's like a soccer player, getting shoes, shorts, jerseys.
The Nelk Boys.
Sir, you ever seen Bang Bus? Sir? No.
Ruben Atwood.
Not a lot of people were there for me when I was at my lowest, and Roman and Britt was one of them. And I just wanted to say, bro, now since we're out of debt, bro, you asked me. Hey, I'm not playing, bro. You don't think I was gonna come up?
And soon to be Oopaville. Oh, crap. Hopefully I don't get beat up. It's all right. I'm not a woman.
He just came out and throttled her for no reason. He just came out and just whacked her in the face. Okay, this guy has got this website, Vitaly Uncensored. He's had some issues before.
I will be continuously making that joke, by the way, because he beat a woman and he refuses to take responsibility for it and blames it on drugs and like, why did people let me get that way? Why did people let me get that way? And that bothers me a lot, but we'll get deeper into this. It's just, just jokes, all right?
My security came 5 minutes late because my friends told my security, like, we can't calm Vitaly down. You need to be here now. And he's like an ex-cop. Like, I just needed to get knocked out by my friends. Like, I'm sorry, they shouldn't have done that. But that's how I tried to write her apology letter. Like, obviously she shouldn't forgive me, but how sorry. And that's not me. I didn't know her. I didn't know what I did.
You were a demon.
Yeah, but demons came out of me, bro.
The peak of Vitaly's notoriety occurred around a decade ago with his most popular prank video titled How to Get Girls to Kiss You, which has 70 million views. And by God, I watched it hundreds of times. And guess what? It didn't work. It didn't work. No girls kissed me.
Would you mind if I ask you 3 honest questions, please? Sure. Do you think I'm attractive?
I guess so. I mean, you're all right.
I'm all right. Wow. Do you have a boyfriend?
Oh, why?
Why? This is kind of awkward, but what would you excuse not to kiss me right now? What would it be? What?
Wow. Does that actually work? Or is that a paid actor, I wonder? Anyways, guys, we're going to build a little bit of an outline, a little bit of a narrative here, okay? Vitaly cares a lot about being an entertainer. His focus is on entertaining. That's what I do. I don't relay information accurately and correctly. I just entertain people. That's what I try to do, at least. But when you're a predator hunter, being an entertainer first kind of can sabotage it because being a predator is against the law. And when you combine humor with justice and the law, there's a lot of friction. I think everyone can agree that less predators are a good thing, but we'll talk about Vitaly today. Interesting stuff. Speaking of Vitaly's focus on entertainment, he's had a focus on entertainment of all forms. Vitaly got started in front of the camera by starring in a Piran film in 2011. Pretty awesome. And during the time of his peak level YouTube fame, he also launched Vitaly Uncensored, which is like a membership platform, and he just had naked women around him, and they did stuff, and they still kind of do it, which is, I think that's really interesting. It's just like normal content and then just putting it behind an uncensored paywall and you just have naked women around. I mean, that's honestly a good idea for just videos, right? Like, never mind. Never mind, man. If I saw Sean Munger, just a big set of tits next to him, I'd really be interested in some history. Sean Munger is my new favorite channel after the Gradual Report, by the way. I also find it a little bit funny showing the juxtaposition of his most popular videos, his most popular content, which is content that quite literally exclusively is designed for children. Like, it's designed to get little boys and young people to click on it. Look at this. How to get girls to kiss you. This is not for adult men. This is not for adult men. Maybe like you accidentally scroll by it on Facebook, something like that. Gold digger prank. Can't imagine many women are watching that. In general, can't imagine that there's that many women watching that. Epic car prank on my mom. Hey man, children love mom content. They love their moms. Little idiots. Picking up girls in a Lamborghini without talking. Like, either children or the bottom of the barrel in terms of IQ. And then he's got this awesome NSFW career built up in tandem with his YouTube career. I like it. Dude is an absolute enterprise. He's an enterpriser. It's what he is. He's an entrepreneur. On top of all this, Vitaly has a long history of run-ins with the police. He's been streaking, running into sporting events. He's done it quite a few times. NBA Finals. World Cup Finals. World Series. His mommy even got him on the action. She seems like a really nice lady, to be honest. This is Vitaly's mom. She seems like a nice lady. She's 47, which is kind of insane. How old was Vitaly in 2019? 27. Okay, that makes sense. So she had him when she was 20. That's not that big of a deal. I thought he was a little older. I thought Vitaly was like 40 almost, so I was thinking maybe she had him when she was 7, and that might be why he has a malformed brain, potentially. Bro also climbed the pyramids in Egypt and unleashed an ancient horror. I think. I assume because shortly after this happened, something bad happened for him.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. What I'm about to do is for a great cause.
What's up, guys? Hey, welcome to another video. Today I'm about to break the law and climb onto a big tongue giant thing, man. Hey, man, also stop war, stop hate. Meanwhile, I go beat the woman up really quick just to get my hateful feeling out.
You got the tripping balls. Listen to this. Guys, can you just listen to me, please? I'm trying to be down.
A couple months after the awesome pyramid video that I watched and smashed like on, it took a 4-year break from YouTube after going to jail for beating a woman, and he's kind of on a come up a little bit. He returned in 2023 with a YouTube video called Russian Hitman Bit in November. That was pretty cool.
Camera.
I was gonna plug the killer.
You already did. You just threw it in the ground.
I gotta fucking get out of
I'm a hitman. I work for KGB. You know who I am? You don't know who I am.
I don't know it.
Oh, yeah.
He made a cartoon character really angry at the end of that video, which is pretty funny. So yeah, he's instigating people into fights in public. That's awesome. Hopefully it's fake. Most of everything else it is. After this though, bro signed a deal with our favorite streaming platform, the platform of Kick, which I'm a little torn on because I like the existence of it. My mind continuously changes with Kick. I don't like Kick at all. I think it's a shit platform, you know, but I also think Twitch is a shit platform as well. Like, just to be clear, I think all the streaming platform, I think streaming in general is like my least favorite type of internet stuff. You can't turn it off. It's like it's real life and that's what's funny. That's not cool. Some people get upset that I don't like Kick. I don't give a f. I don't like Kick because people like Vitaly are on Kick. But some objectively solid content does come out of there, okay, guys? It's good talking points. Good talking points on there.
Get on your hands.
You Arabian psychopath. Take it, bro. Oh, my God.
All right.
Oh, my heart.
Say sorry.
My heart.
Everyone chill.
My heart.
He just called me a dumb I'm 33 years old. There's no point.
Listen, you're 35. Get a grip of your life, man.
Now Vitaly just recreates his old, extremely popular content, but he does it live. Like Bin Laden. I mean, Bill O'Reilly. What the f? Why'd I say Bin Laden? Holy shit. Freudian slip, I guess.
The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine.
And it's been really interesting to watch it because he's actually blowing up massively and he's everywhere now. He's become famous once again, and there's an entire arc involved within it that I think is fascinating, and I think you guys will also enjoy learning of it. And like we said earlier, this man, he posits his identity as a performer, very important, most forefront of everything that he is, and it leads to the legality and ethics of his content to be questioned by people who care way too much. So turn off your computers and go outside. Either that or smash like. You can go to sour.gg and buy some candy, you cave dwellers. Just kidding. I'm immensely appreciative. Just kidding. I'm just joking. I turn to this camera, and this is where I'm honest, and this is where I lie. For real though, go to sour.gg. We got a bunch of candy for sale. We make it ourselves. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's made in a little facility. I have a pooper. I poop it out. So, yeah. And we got a brand new product coming soon that's going to be similar, but a little bit different. Guess what it is down below. And if you're right, I won't do anything, but you'll be right though. It'll be kind of cool. Vitaly joined the streaming platform of Kick in January 2024. I don't know if he got a deal, a paid deal, or if he just got on it and started streaming, because you can, I think.
Thank you. Mom, we're all good. Mom, don't cry. She called me. Mom, shit happens. There's
And it didn't take long for him to find his new predator hunting niche live streaming with different celebrities. Celebrities like Lil Pump, You Love It, T.Y. Dolla Sign, Bradley Martin.
All we've done is she didn't tell you how old she was?
She did.
She did? Yeah. How old is she?
Mickey Mays.
Yeah, I don't consent to being filmed.
Oh, you don't consent to being filmed?
Aiden Ross.
Dirty piece of shit, bro. What the fuck? Oh, man.
And Ryan Garcia, and many more. Ryan Garcia's stream was postponed, actually, so it didn't go to plan there. I can't imagine why. In fact, guys, there's a bit of an event, a festival, if you will, a 10-day-long event, the 10 Nights of Takedowns. It's kind of like Hanukkah or Christmas, but for people who breathe through their mouths. I don't really know. I'm heavily constipated though, and there's something wrong with me. I think I need to get my colon checked out. Look at Frankie. She's sleeping in like a damn circle. She got a damn serpentine in her body. The next guest on Vitaly's stream is gonna be a famous rapper, T Grizzly. That's his day 5 guest. Pretty awesome, man. Bro's had some pretty viral moments on Kick. He chilled with Lil Pump. Him and Vitaly cornered a predator, an alleged predator, and rapped Kanye and Lil Pump's song I Love It while spray painting him, which I don't know how you can do this. Look at how much enjoyment he's getting out of that. He's got his hand in his pants just going. In a different clip, same stream, Vitaly and Lil Pump cornered another alleged predator in a car, and they yelled, and then the guy flees the scene. Similar to that one guy looking for his poop pills fleeing the scene in that one video. Have you seen that shit? It's crazy. You need to watch that video.
How you doing?
I am currently looking for my fiber.
Your what?
Fiber.
Fiber?
Yeah, because I gotta poop.
You gotta poop?
I'm constipated. I've been constipated.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm actually really constipated. Sir, please, can you actually let me get my supplements so I can actually go home so I can poop and actually so I can poop well? I've been having constipation for 4 or 5 weeks that I'm bleeding so much that I can't help it. Why are you doing this to me? Can you tell me?
I'm filming for mine and your safety, buddy. So you can't say that I hurt you, and you can't say that I hurt you. How old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm 21. I just need to go poop.
And why are you here?
To find my pooping pill. Why are you being so mean to me?
Is this you?
Please.
Is this you?
Let me do this.
Hey, buddy, is this you?
As this guy's fleeing the scene, Vitaly spray paints his car while he's talking to the cops on the phone. Allegedly, we don't really know. Pretty entertaining stuff. I mean, I've got to say, the poor 911 operator. Hello, what kind of vehicle's he in? Tell me some information. Another popular clip is from this guy, Mickey Mace, calling other popular streamer XQC a predator and protector of predators, which is crazy shit.
Thank you for coming.
All right, let's run it back. Let's clean up the streets a little bit more. Let's get rid of
XQC, this is, I don't know.
He knows what he said. He's a pedophile sympathizer. I can't get down with that.
What do you say?
He's wearing a shirt that says XQC protects pedophiles. Also, I believe he pulled a staccato out of his. I can't tell if it is. I think it is. It looks like familiar stippling, 2011.
What do you say?
I think. I don't like the RMR though. TBH or SRO? Is that an SRO? I don't remember, dude. I don't like pistols. Not a huge pistol guy. All right, I got a FN 509C and a FN Reflex. Okay, that's pretty much all I rock. Also, OZ9, sad, but it's a little too Gucci for me. Okay. Also, my EDC is a Colt single action army. Not really. So yeah, interesting. I still don't know what XQC said, but it's a viral clip. I assume XQC reacted to it. I really don't know what the f is going on there. Cornering another alleged predator, they shave his head And then he threw a simulation grenade at the Predator as well, which, God, is that legal? I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just like, it's got to be fake, right? How can you get so close to brushes with the law and not go to jail? Because this is like illegal stuff. But maybe it's because the Predators are more illegal, so it's like you fight fire with fire, and the Predator's not going to press charges because he'll have to, and he'll get all his texts will get subpoenaed, and then he'll be seen as an actual predator. That is some crazy shit, dude. Every time I watch these videos, I just feel the heat. I feel how hot it is where they are. It just seems hot, and I feel anxious, and I feel like the adrenaline spike. But it's also probably not that awesome, because it's probably not doing that much good. Like, that guy just ran off, and he's got his hair's cut, and then everyone who watches Vitaly clips will think he's a pedo. That's not gonna, like, prevent him from being a pedo in the future. I mean, sure, it's good to shame him, but now he's just gonna be more careful, seems like, allegedly or whatever, you know, because also who the knows, man. Bradley Martin, other famous guy in Vitaly's past, comes from the famous clip of Vitaly asking him if he could pay off his debt that he incurred, by the way, as a result of a settlement for beating the shit out of a lady a couple years ago and going to jail and being a criminal who it doesn't take responsibility for that. But anyways, he asked Vitaly for money. It was hilarious and awkward, but now they're collabing.
And a real man talk, and I'm not putting you on the spot. You can say off, but more than ask. 140K, December I give it to you 100K back. And I'll pay them, and my bank gets unlocked. And you will get clipped, and you will be a fucking live hero.
December,
yeah, a year from now.
And recently a clip came up of them allegedly catching Hollywood screenwriter Herschel Vanguard, a guy who helped write Space Jam and Kindergarten Cop, two massive epic W movies.
Don't worry, everything is under control.
They caught this fella allegedly. I'm not even 100% sure if it's him. That's just what everybody is saying. I don't know if that's legitimate. Caught him meeting a 15-year-old girl, and they blasted him with gender reveal paint powder, whatever the f it is. Sorry, sex reveal powder. Whoa. Hand pyrotechnics. Can't be legal. Hey, don't bark. I know I made the pop sound. I'm sorry, but don't bark. Aiden Ross and Vitaly captured a guy and screamed at him while restraining him. Pretty baller. I mean, all this stuff is wild.
Looks like a nice little 50-year-old boy. You want to fuck him?
No, bro.
I just don't understand how you can do this. If it's not set up and scripted, how can you just roughhouse, beat people up? I mean, you can't just... Can you? I don't know. I guess I just don't know enough about the law. Maybe I should go to law school before I keep yapping. Things have changed quite a bit, and stuff is picking up so much speed, and he's only been doing this for a little short period of time. In his most recent stream with T Grizzly, Vitaly and him confronted an alleged predator outside of a restaurant. They blew air horns in his ear. They made him shout, "It's my dick! It's my dick!"
I can't show him. Is that your dick? That's your dick. Huh?
Yeah.
That's your dick?
Yeah.
Say, that's my dick.
That's my dick.
That's my dick.
That's my dick.
That's my dick. Louder, I can't hear you. That's my dick.
They showed him text conversations between him and the minor that he believed he was talking to. And by God, it's just hard to tell. Is this real? Because if this shit, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. If this is real, what the is going on? They covered him in slime. I mean, what? Some other random clips. Got a guy shaking in the corner of an apartment, I think. Not exactly sure.
I'm scared inside.
Scared of what?
I don't know. You do idea for me.
Because you came to meet a 15-year-old boy, 1-5. He's 15.
Yeah, I know. It's my mom.
They forced an alleged predator to call the mental health hotline and confess that he's a...
I like little boys. I don't know what should I do.
All right, then.
That's the mental health, huh?
Mental health didn't help. I guess maybe the cops will.
And also, Vitaly just tackling a dude in Walmart. How can you get away with this? It's wild.
I like hot Cheetos. I like hot Cheetos.
Hello, sir. Dimitri. Dimitri, sir.
And then we get to one of the most controversial events in regard to Vitaly's recent Predator arc, and that is a stream clip that occurred May 5th, in which Vitaly confronted a 73-year-old guy, this guy, and a random guy just jumped in, punched him, knocked him out cold. He fell back, hit his head on the ground, and looked like he died, but he didn't. He didn't die. He's alive, I think.
I hope they follow you, bro. I got kids, homeboy. I got kids.
No.
Oh my god.
It's fucking hard to tell whether or not any of this shit is genuine or real or what the is going on or if it's good or bad. Vitaly did try to help the old man, by the way, which is good, and he made an update after with his security saying that all was good, which is solid. Yeah, you know, allegedly. I have trouble telling whether or not any of this is fucking genuine or real. Some of the reactions and interactions that the people have when they're on camera are so extreme that I just can't imagine this is something that's actually happening. The way they humiliate them, how is that even legal? It seems silly. It's very entertaining. And that's what it seems like, is that Vitaly is just leaning into the entertainment side of predator poaching, which is already a massive area of gray thing. I'm all for it. Just to be clear, I like it. You know, if your conviction rate is 1 out of 100, that's not that good, but still, it's more pedophiles put behind bars than I've ever put behind bars, and you deserve some compensation for your good deed, I'd say. But I just hope that it, like, you know, compounds and exponentially gets more and more effective. For example, predator poachers, very effective. Theirs is like 30, 40, 50%, something along those lines. They get a lot of convictions. Vitaly, I have no idea. I think they've maybe gotten a couple or something, but most of them they just let leave. They just humiliate them and let them leave. And it comes off more so like it's all a fake setup. Like, it doesn't seem legitimate, and it just maybe seems a little like predatory in and of itself in terms of internet content. And the recent vigilante shit from Vitaly on Kick hasn't exactly caught the positive attention from district attorneys or police departments. On stream, the district attorney, someone who represents the LAPD and the district attorney in that area, told them they have no intention of doing anything with individuals that have been caught on stream.
They're basically like, Desk Sergeant has said, don't bring him in. There's nothing that the DA is going to do now. Just write it up, file it up, and that's all we can do now. LA is not going to prosecute pedophiles.
And that's because there's an amateurish, you know, it's a sting, it's a professional thing. The same shit has happened to Chris Hansen, the same shit has happened to Alex Rosen, all these guys, but it seems like Vitaly really said that shit on stream. So Vitaly specifically will have to be careful moving forward if he does this in LA, as he promises to continue humiliating predators. He could face legal action, which I think would be very, very, very funny, because then ideally, if a predator presses charges for something like that, then you get to the bottom of the situation. Right, you get to find out. And if there never is any charges pressed, it's probably not even real. We need to see arrest records is what we need to see. It's just a very bizarre thing to kind of build your whole career off of. There's been quite a few that have gone poorly. For example, the end of Chris Hansen's show. I mean, that was pretty bad. For that, there was entrapment complaints, and also they caught a assistant DA in the sting. So, you know, it's like one of those things where you start to combine the lights of good and evil, and then shit hits the fan, I guess. I've got a feeling that this shit is going to go way too far, and Vitaly's going to face some legal action from humiliating a predator and assaulting them. I just don't get how it's legit. I'm not like out here saying, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You can't catch the predators. They need systems. Better systems. No, they need to be thrown in jail. Not just 1 out of 10. 1 out of 20, 2 out of 10, 3, you know, it needs to be every single time there's evidence of this, they should be in jail. Or, never mind, they should just be in jail, guys. They should be jailed temporarily by medieval England and then drawn and quartered and spread across Scotland. So yeah, I mentioned Alex Rosen. I've talked about Vitaly this entire video. Alex is a professional predator hunter. He's more so on the side of just trying to catch predators and get them in jail. Like, that's his goal.
Yes, we called in. He's trying to delete all of his stuff. It's on that phone right there, and his laptop, like it just said on your body cam.
His laptop. I don't have a laptop. It's at his house.
Still vigilante stuff, and you know, it's similar to what Vitaly does, but incredibly dissimilar in the way that it's actually executed. But even the more professional approach has been laughed at by certain police departments. For example, Maine. The Maine State Police refused to look at any evidence provided by Alex Rosen. Absolute goofballs up there. I mean, I don't understand how a police department could just not want to investigate anyone who's potentially a pedo. Like, seriously, unless you are a pedo, why are you against investigating it? The Maine State Police responded to all the criticism that they had incurred on Twitter by saying essentially this: it's our understanding and experience that the tactics that are employed by these groups aren't best questionable. And in words, When private groups choose to freelance, there is no way to verify all of their tactics. Why don't you take the people that you now have a reasonable belief, potentially, that they might be doing things illegal and then investigate them yourselves? Maybe do that instead of just sweeping it all under the rug because it's unprofessional or coercive. I mean, even if it is. Okay, let's have some lawsuits. Let's get fun with it. Let's go to court. The reason I even bring the Alex Rosen thing up is because this guy is a lot more professional. As unprofessional as he is, or unprofessional, he's way more professional than Vitaly. Predator Poachers has like the highest conviction rate, so I just can't imagine this is going to be a crazy awesome outcome here. Alex talked to friend of the show, Steven Crowder, about what he thinks of the Vitaly confronting the Hollywood screenwriter who tried to meet up with a minor, and it's pretty fucking interesting.
I think in the messages there probably wasn't enough said to get him arrested, and that's just going to make him more careful the next time. That's really going to make him not say anything sexual to the next sting or whatever pops up next. So I think he's going to walk free, and that's the unfortunate part about it.
Alex feels...
Bro, what are they? What is going on right now? Bro, this is too much. They put the hostile spy plane for a thumbnail versus slime 5th grader. Are you gonna act like you didn't blatantly lie, huh? What is this? Lamau, someone actually found the original video where Logan claimed I thought I was too clouded or whatever to talk to these. We lost C. Bro, what are they? What is going on right now? Bro, this is too much. Bro, they put the... For a thumbnail versus slime 5th grader. Are you gonna act like you didn't blatantly lie, huh? What is this? Lamau, someone actually found the original video where Logan claimed I thought I was too clouded or whatever to talk to these guys and ignore them, and the vibes were completely off. He just lied about the entire thing. Damn, dude, you really owned him in the marketplace of ideas for saying that your vibes are fucked up. What is this? Who the fuck thinks this is a good argument? Bro, you're only proving that... Oh my God, this is a one-to-one verbatim Hasanabi take. I swear to God. Someone find the clip. I have said this verbatim. I have said this. I have said this verbatim. Oh God, I love him so much. If you are doing IRL, Bill versus Bill is hilarious. A must watch. Yeah. I do want to watch the Bill versus Bill.
Being said will shock you, and it's available for Bruce My Mind. But also, but just talking straight to the camera, just starting, and it's just you. Rush Limbaugh did it.
Yes, he did.
And you do it. But that is a rare skill, my friend. To just go.
It's probably some personality flaw in the rest of my life, but in that moment, it works. Well, I know a lot of people that would agree with you.
Well, I mean, don't you have a childhood that lends itself to humor because of the Boston comic who used to say he had a bad father like you did, and he was like when Bing Crosby's kids were like talking about how Bing Crosby was. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
He's like, hey, my dad used to hit us with. My dad used to hit us with your father's record. You know, that was a Boston comic. I forget who it was.
Yeah, it was.
Don't make me play the clip again, Destiny fans. Destiny fans on an alt account as a fellow Destiny hater. Sure, bud. Don't make me play that clip again, dude. You're trying to get me back into the... You're trying to get me back in to show you the 30-second scroll on a subreddit, okay? Don't even do it.
Yeah, you have fodder. You know, like all of pain in life is fodder for art, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of how it works.
I mean,
that's class. Look at that. When I used to drink, I used to just fill it up till it was above the ice cubes.
Well, I used to drink like that too, but you know, we all have to throttle back as we get older.
Those are I like that joke that you used to do. Said if you don't stop drinking as you get older, you start looking like a Kennedy.
Yeah.
But it's not just
Ted Kennedy. I mean, you did have that.
He had a lot of demons.
Nobody had that.
He would have been a hell of a stand-up. All the pain that guy had, and then the pain he caused.
Ted Kennedy?
Oh my God, he would have crushed it. That giant head.
I know stories about him from like.
Let's keep it light, huh?
What could be?
You're going to Ted. You get Teddy Darkness. Can I smoke a cigar in here?
Of course, you can do whatever you want in here. But I dated someone whose mother, like, was someone he visited as a lady.
They had a book club.
You defend, I know you were very good as Jack Kennedy in the Seinfeld movie.
Oh, thank you.
That was perfect.
I had a great, wasn't that a great
casting.
movie?
So good.
I loved it.
And you know what? I have to say, and Jerry was here just a few days ago. I heard terrible things about it. To be honest, I don't
think
know
younger
why.
people, because I think younger people didn't know some of the references.
I don't think they even saw it yet. I don't know where that came from. And then I watched it. I was like, wow. Not only is the concept so genius, the juxtaposition of the most trivial thing in the world, breakfast cereal, with all that stuff that was going on in the 60s, NASA, and the...
What is this? I really like Bill Burr's whole arc. If you watch his specials chronologically, it's basically about a guy whose functional marriage is slowly making him less insane. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true. The greatest thing that's ever happened, if you're an OG fan of Billy Bitch Tits, you know this to be an absolute fact. His friendship with Patrice O'Neal and his wife literally straight up made him into a well-grounded person. I know he is the original black girlfriend / black wife meme. Yeah. Technically. You're not wrong. Yeah. What? Ping him? What is the question?
Cold War, you know, all the...
But what's funny is the battle that Kellogg's and Post, it's the same battle that people are fighting with Army. I loved all of that. I also loved when they went to the grocery store, when Post and Kellogg's are racing to get their Pop-Tarts there. Did you notice one truck was a Ford, one was a Chevy?
No, I did not.
Like, there was a lot of, like, little things in there.
Oh, there were. But what's funny is treating it as if it was the end of the world, the space...
Yes.
That's what was funny. And Khrushchev, that it was important of the Cuba, the Cold War, El Sucre, all that stuff. And the pacing, for a first-time director, I loved that about it, but it just moved. You know, it just...
make good directors, though.
He wants to talk about anti-white racism. Oh, that one chatter? Oh, I forgot to show you guys this. The Daily Wire host defends using the anti-black racial slur in a friendly way. Walsh, no white person actually has any moral obligation to observe the insane, totally indefensible, ridiculous rule that decrees that this word is acceptable to be used in any and every context by one race, but in no context at all by another race. Get to the playlist. This is on the playlist. Shut the f up, Sheltered Rose. About to take an hour off. We didn't move on. We're back on this. I want to get to the good shit, though. This is like banter.
Berg directed this movie, Old Dads.
Yeah, I saw it. It was good. You're right.
I thought you were going to say I didn't think it was that good.
No, I didn't know you directed.
My heart just went down like that. I was like, oh, God, I just set myself up.
I actually didn't know you directed it.
I directed it because there was no one available. That's the only reason why I did it, because we were coming out of the pandemic, so all the directors that were going to shoot something in 2020, whenever the hell it was, they didn't shoot it because we were quarantined, and then they were like 2 projects behind, so they started pulling that, like, it's going to go away, it's going to go away. Don't you save that for your parties when you're wearing your smoking jacket? Factory where it's like, okay, but this is a good conversation if my cigar goes out like
think of how many comics that is over 40 years. You know, it's not a common thing.
Yeah, but that's like a special thing.
There are timestamps in here. Where are the timestamps? What is this? It's literally just a racism factory now. Okay, where are the timestamps? You already watched most of the good shit. 1 hour and 5 minutes. That's where he starts talking about Palestine.
Garrett. We have to do it. Garrett. Garrett.
Brad Garrett.
Garrett, like Garrett. Yes, with an O.
So when he goes over there, they think his name's Brad Attic?
No. So anyway, Paul McCartney, he was with this.
Bill Bullocks.
Oh, here it is.
A number of the songs.
Dude, this is the most helpful. Dude, there are heroes. There are unsung heroes out there. Can I just say, there is literally no greater hero on the internet than the guy who goes through and meticulously details with accurate timestamps, the accurate fucking timestamps on a YouTube video.
So that's
okay. First, let's start about the cancel culture bit, and then we'll move on to 24-hour news commentary creates brain rot.
Well, that's
what's over. Cancel culture?
Yeah, no one cares anymore.
That's so not true. Either one of them could get canceled in the next 2 minutes.
No. For what? For what? You're not doing anything. It was just like you did this joke about, you know, this group of people or that group of people, and I've decided to, I don't know. I feel like I'm going back 2 years of my life. Like I don't even think about it anymore. Nice ashtray, by the way.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
I've never known where I got anything. I probably should. Somebody gave this to me.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing they used to give you when you retired after a while. The watch and an ashtray.
When you think
Martini shaker.
When you think about like how much, you know, when you, I don't know, you probably had similar upbringings, you know, you treasured like almost every physical thing you had, even if it was a hand-me-down. Like you had just certain things in your little room. And then as you go through life, so much stuff, and you don't even know where you got all the stuff.
Well, you know what about that? What's great about that is there's no upgrade. And everything became like disposable.
Free. You are clear to engage.
Like electric cars are like laptops. Like after a couple years, like they're not worth anything because of like the technology, which doesn't even make sense. But like same thing with like a laptop, with phones, all of that stuff.
What do you drive?
What do I drive? I'm a truck guy. I got a Ford F-250 and I have an old F-100.
Really? Why?
The same reason. Why does a guy drive a Ferrari down Sunset Strip and never take it to a racetrack? That's what he's into. My Ferraris, I always wanted a Ford F-250, 8-foot bed, regular cab.
Why? You hauling dirt?
Is that guy going to the racetrack? Have you ever driven one of those on a racetrack? You cannot flip them over. They're unbelievable, the technology and the respect you get for racing of what they're putting their bodies through. Because I didn't, you know, I was driving like an asshole. I finally realized that you try to go smooth around the track, not try to just stomp on the gas and slam on the brakes. But like, I like driving. That's why I like cigars. I like going slow because my brain goes fast. And there's something about driving a truck. It's slow. It slows me down, and I
defend him. What do you mean? I love trucks. What the f are you talking about? I literally love trucks. I want to get the F100 Concept Edition, the electric. You guys know this about me, I thought. Like, have you guys ever seen the F100 electric concept? I love that car. I love trucks. I think Toyota Hiluxes are the greatest invention of all time on 4 wheels. Okay, I love 4Runners, which is not really a truck, I guess, but it's still technically a ute. The Ford 100, the Ford F-150 Lightning is decent, but nowhere near as sick as the Ford F-100 Illuminator. Here it is. It's only a concept vehicle, unfortunately. Wait, what? With new EV crate motor, customers can now buy? Wait, you can buy this? I thought this was not on sale. Okay, I know what my next car is. I was thinking about the G-Wagon. I was thinking about the electric G-Wagon. Customers can buy the crate motor, not the truck. Oh, okay. I was legitimately thinking about the G-Wagon, the electric one, for my next vehicle, considering that my lease is going to be up. After watching videos of it doing a G-turn over and over again, I got like kind of convinced that it's pretty sick. But I was talking to my friends who are very knowledgeable on Mercedes-Benzes, because they used to sell them back in the day. And they were saying that the electrical work on a lot of the Mercedes electric vehicles, like the actual wiring or whatever the like it sometimes has a capacity to fail. But anyway,
you like driving?
I love it.
Me too. I would hate to be at that stage, or for whatever reason, where I had to be driven everywhere. You know, I mean, sometimes you do. Like when we're on the road, probably get
okay, that was brief. That cancel culture conversation was brief.
Cincinnati.
Right.
But there's something, and I see these electric cars now next to me on the highway. That, I mean, not like self-change place.
I feel like people that watch 24-hour news networks get institutionalized to blame colors of ties rather than the corporations behind them, and they will just sit there convinced that, you know, Trump is the worst thing that happened to this country, or Biden is the worst thing that happened to this country. And it's just like, you know, you might want to just kind of push through that veil a little bit further.
Yeah.
And so I kind of have this thing, like when I get around like the 24-hour news zombies, I just, Jesus Christ, was it Jericho? Nobody under the age of 50 got that one. Remember that? I was on the Lawrence Welk show. He used to pedal the Geritol.
To my point, the 25-year-old is watching this going, look at these two old guys. They're not going, oh, the guy with cigars, obviously 13 years younger.
I know, but you have to go all the way down to 25 to appear my age.
Well, I don't.
You can see. Look at the
I don't
difference. Look at the
mind.
difference. You can just see the way we dress. We're not different people. This is like, you know, you come from, you know, the slacks generation. Like slacks were
These are
still a
jeans.
thing.
These are
no,
not
but slacks were a thing.
No, I look good. That's the difference. Is that you were
Do
wearing
look good.
You're wearing
You're not gonna
sneakers.
throw that in my
You got a
face.
you got a t-shirt on. Like I.
You look like a defendant. Look at you trying to beat a drinking and driving charge. He doesn't have any priors, Your Honor. Look at him. He's wearing his Chelsea boots. He's a, what do they call it? A productive member of society. He needs his car for work. I think that this should be a suspension, not a full-on.
Acting Ivy League.
You ever get bucked?
One reason they are prima inter pares among rock gods is that they.
I've never, when we were driving, my buddy had this sick ass, he had this F-150.
I bet he was funny about it.
Oh, he was hilarious.
Okay.
He was hilarious. Oh my God.
About the truck?
Dude, listen, I get it. You're not a knock-around guy. You looked up Latin words and you didn't hang out with the fellas, and they used to hang you by your underwear at the lockers. So now none of them are funny because this is your one thing. But I'm funny. They could never be as funny as me.
Well,
like there's so much shit about you that's funny that you're not even trying to be funny. Your whole outfit is hilarious. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Shirt and pants is an outfit.
You're dressed like that. You're gonna sing that. What is that song? Splish splash. I was taking a bath with your stupid little slippers that you're wearing.
Slippers? These are like boots. These are almost Beetle.
You're an outlaw.
These are almost Beetle boots.
They're Chelsea boots. I know that
Never
because
got
my
over
wife's
Beetle
into
boots
fashion.
because they were the greatest.
What were?
Beetle boots.
Those were badass.
Well, that's what it was. It was like the half boot. That's what they sang.
That's
She
a
loves you.
three-quarter.
Yeah.
So what I like about their music is it's like 2.5-minute song, and what they could say about a relationship that's still relatable. Like I used to listen when I really started going into their back catalog, right? Not back catalog. They're later in their career. Rubber Soul and all of that shit. Revolver.
Not later. That was mid.
All right, relax, you fucking historian. Good, throw another Latin word at me. Anyway, I started like listening to the lyrics, and I would be like, I literally just went through that with whoever I was dating.
Which song are we referring to?
I don't have them memorized.
I like that over the course of like, it seems like they're just very cordial and jovial in the beginning, and like around the 1 hour mark, things start changing, which I suspect is like Mar calling Burr an idiot for not taking a PJ everywhere. Burr doesn't want kids to die. Oh yeah, here. This is where it like starts cooking. Palestine campus protests. Mar Beatles lecture with Burr, calling him old and pretentious. Please don't buy any more expensive things. Getting hard to convince my leftist friends to get a subscription. Wait, what? You don't have to do that. You literally don't have to do that. If they don't want to see ads at the top of the hour over the course of like an 8-hour broadcast every day that they're consuming and subscribe for that reason, like that's one thing. But you shouldn't be going out to convince your friends to subscribe. You shouldn't be doing that. If they personally, after consuming my content for a long enough time, personally make the choice to be like, you know what, this shit deserves $5 a month. It's not that big of a deal. Or if they say, honestly, I already have a Twitch Prime subscription I'll use on him, that's fine. Or maybe you're like Token Black Guide, gifting 10 tier 1 gifted subs because you're like, I don't want 10 people to see the ads at the top of the hour. That's it. That's all this is. Here's the 3-minute ad break now, by the way. Got him. That was a layup. You gave me an alley-oop. Cringe Fetterman moment. All right, we'll do that in a little bit. We do that in a little bit. Burr is likable throughout the whole thing. Busting his balls is the best way to grab the audience. I agree. Thank you for the assist. Binaural beast? You doing CIA shit? What the is binaural beast? All right, let's get to the good stuff.
I hate Harvard. Are you kidding? Have you heard what's going on college campuses these days?
And the beautiful part is he's the one who brought it up.
Watch the news. You don't realize that college campuses erupted with the kids demonstrating for Hamas? They are in with the terrorists.
They were for the Palestinians.
Well, it's sort of the same cause. Why, are you?
I'm on the side of the kids.
Yeah, that's easy to say. You know, no one wants to see kids dead. This is a war.
That was very brave of you to say.
This is a war.
That's so funny. It's like no one It's brave of me to say that I want to see some kids dead. Like, that silence is so cutting. It's so perfect. God, it's hard not to glaze this man, okay? I love him so much. Billy Bitch Tits, I know you don't know who I am, and I know you will never know who I am, but I love you, man. I love you, big dog. I'm a certified yapper and a grade A glazer, okay? The amount of energy I spend glazing old Billy Bitch Tits, old Bilbo Baggins over here, literally is melting polar ice caps, okay? He would destroy you. I would let him destroy me. It would be an honor to stand side by side with Bill Burr. If he was just like destroying my worldview, I would just sit there and I say, yes, sir, you're so right. I love him. He's phenomenal. He is a phenomenal person to be a spokesman for your cause, especially because he's, one, endlessly charismatic, and two, he does such a great job. He does such a great job of like dismantling talking points while looking like an everyman, you know? Like he looks like an average Joe. He sounds like an average Joe. Sounds like a stevedore. He has hundreds of, I guess, you know, tens of millions of dollars at the very least, but he still ultimately lives a relatively ascetic lifestyle. He's a bald king, and he has, in some ways, bro, stop pretending you're a nobody. I'm a nobody. I can go to the Met Gala and no one say shit about it. You're an influential person with a significant following. It's not out of the question for you. No, it's fine. He just does such a good job. He does such a good job of like dismantling reactionary talking points in a way that convinces the audience that like his interlocutor is the insane one. Okay? He does such a good job of being like, dude, what are you saying? Like, he hits that line so well. Stop fetishizing the bald. I will never stop fetishizing the balds. You can't stop me. It's not illegal. Bill Burr story on your subreddit. What happened? My brother Jewish felt unsafe at the recent Bill Burr show. Why was it removed? Fucking bouncing on it like you're sitting on a spring sun. There are a couple people that I absolutely glaze. And back in the day, it used to be Bernie Sanders, old Bernardo, LeBron James still to this day, and Bill Burr. Those are the three guys that are my goats, okay? And yeah, Bernie is a little, you know, I will always respect Bernie. Giannis Varoufakis and stuff like I also obviously love. Oh my God, he's also bald. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God. Wait, LeBron James, Giannis Varoufakis, Bernie Sanders, Bill Burr. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. All my heroes are bald. What the Lenin? Stop. Stop. Oh my God. What is happening? What is happening? Okay, stop. Let's just continue.
I'm the one who's actually brave on this.
Pat yourself on the back.
It's easy to say I'm for the kids. Who's not for the kids?
Well,
it comes down to real hard-nosed decisions. Like a country.
Stop talking like you're a general.
A country got attacked. Israel got attacked.
I'm not saying that they didn't have a right to go back. I'm just sitting there going like, how do I look at
We're the only country in the world that they get attacked, and then as soon as they counterattack, it's like, well, we got to stop this shit now. Don't attack them. There's a very simple solution to all of this problem in the Middle East. Stop attacking Israel.
Hey, you
Stop
just
attacking Israel.
Yeah,
I did. I actually
did.
There you
go. That's fantastic.
Anyway.
All right.
We don't need to get onto that.
Let's go to Russia and the Ukraine. How do you solve that one, Bill?
It's this.
Let me hear your hard-nosed decision about that. Well, let me ask you a question. How is war still legal? All this shit that's been canceled, legal. Why is that still legal?
Would you like a real answer to that? Because for something to be illegal, you have to have the capacity to enforce it. And you can't enforce against war, or else you have to go to war with the country that's going to war. And we don't...
It's just like, this actually shows, like, this actually perfectly demonstrates Bill Maher's way of thinking. He's like, yo, you can't, like, he made a silly remark, like, oh, how is war not illegal, huh? How about we cancel war? Like, he's not being serious when he says that. And then Bill Maher, one, takes him seriously and goes, oh, you want a serious answer? And then immediately starts demonstrating his worldview. Okay? That like, oh, you can't stop war because like you would have to go to war with the other country. And you know, it's too powerful or whatever. It's like, no, man, it's because people make money. Okay? It's because people make money. That's it. It's always for resources. I don't think there's ever been a war throughout human history that wasn't about like ultimately about resources, whether it be land, whether it be gems, whether it be natural resources. It's just, that's it. And now the war economy in and of itself has become a very important resource.
We go to war with Russia over Ukraine. What would be the sense of making it illegal? Oh, that's really going to stop Putin. No. To stop people from going to war, you have to also put boots.
As a little reductionist, I mean, yeah, I'm just pointing to one singular aspect of why war occurs. Obviously, there's like, no, like here, this is a great example. Religion. No. If you think the Crusades were simply on the virtue of religion and not that religion was used as a galvanizing principle, you've got it all wrong. That was resources. It was expansion. Religion was simply used as a way to justify the need to do such things. U.S. Civil War, literally resources. Slavery was a commodity. Human beings were seen as capital. The right went to war utilizing the pre-existing racial pecking order and the fears that many had in the South that their culture would change in an effort to defend slave owners from losing their mode of production. Yeah. Better put, industrial capitalists versus agricultural proto-capitalists. Pearl Harbor was in direct response to our blockades of the Japanese petroleum industry. Yep. In every single aspect of like religious war or whatever, it's actually still about expansion, colonial ambitions, and securing resources. Except they masquerade as like religious wars in an effort to add a secondary reason, a galvanizing principle. Religion plays that role.
And talk it out. Why can't Putin do a podcast with the head guy? Like, you just solved the Middle East on a podcast. Why can't they solve what they're doing on a podcast?
This is why this is not your thing.
Make some hard-nosed decisions.
It's
not your thing. It's what you.
That is my thing.
It isn't your thing.
This is not your thing.
You're like that guy that has a fantasy football team and thinks he's a GM.
No.
That's exactly what it is. Like, why am I listening to you like you've done something? What have you done in Washington? Nothing.
No,
Just a goon, 92. Thank you for the 5 gifted.
Beneath you.
No, it would. Look,
you would be the coolest guy in Washington. You showed up with those boots
it would be so
and no tie. They'd be like, oh my God.
It'd be so easy to be.
Did Kevin Bacon just come back to that Footloose town?
Kevin Bacon.
Teach him how to dance, Bill.
Yeah, I absolutely could.
Bound a bound, a make a bound, a bound. You get off your little private jet. I have a TV show.
And you travel Southwest, is that right, Bill?
I love Southwest.
Really?
I love the order.
Is that how you travel?
I love Southwest.
Do you travel commercial?
Most of the time, yeah.
You do?
I won't lie, this is a bit of an indefensible take. I think Southwest is really like, Southwest is like supposed to be democratically organized. Like, it is so bad though. Southwest is like what right-wingers think communism is. People are able to purchase like a line, like a better position on the line, so they can have their pick of the litter. Except with the exception of the first row, and every single with the exception of the first row, and I guess like the emergency exits, every single, including the seats on the first row and the emergency exits, every single seat is dog shit. It literally is the right-wingers' understanding of communism or socialism. The true goal, obviously, and by the way, and that is because Southwest is a capitalist institution, the true goal should be to make it so that air travel across the board offers the same leg room that is like literally the same legroom that's like valid for every single person on the flight. Sit your ass down and listen. No, it's because it's equally shitty for all on Southwest, because their goal overall is to just like pack as many people as possible to make as much money as possible, because it's still a capitalist corporation. Complaining about airlines is such an influencer thing to do. It's such a passionate topic for podcasters. Wait, what? We live in the United States of America, chatter. What the f do you mean? Try going from like one part of this continent to the other, especially when there's no trains. Like, what are we talking about? I drive? Okay, good luck. Like, plenty of regular people also fly. I'm a Southern Ontario Crody. Oh my God. Like, come on, like you would spend a day in a train? I have, and it was a joyful experience every single time. Whether it be the Surfliner on the coast of the California waterline from San Diego to Los Angeles, or obviously a much more elevated experience in the form of a bullet train going from Tokyo to Kobe. Okay, and in my childhood, I used to also frequently take the train in Turkey.
Yeah. Interesting. Bigger plane, better pilots. You don't get knocked around as much. You're riding in a Cadillac. The only thing that sucks about commercials is boarding. That's it. Once you're there and you got your shit up there, you're flying first class. Which all first class is, if you never flown, is they treat you like a human being.
Oh my God, this is a one-to-one verbatim Hasanabi take. I swear to God. Someone find the clip. I've said this verbatim. I'm not even kidding. The only difference between business class and economy, other than like the obvious legroom, is literally they treat you like a human being. I have said this. I have said this verbatim. When you fly business class, they literally just treat you the way that like everyone is supposed to be treated. Oh my God. Oh God, I love him so much. No, he's not a Hasanabi head. It's just that we view the world in similar lenses. Verbatim. I mean, it's not like that unique of a take, to be fair, but yeah, we think alike.
Those are the animals in the back. They just throw you back there. That was my whole career, working my way up to being treated like. I remember the DC-9 when you just sit there and your window didn't open because there was an engine there. You don't remember that?
I exclusively fly economy, and honestly, I'm being treated subhuman. Are you kidding me? Dude, I've been flying both to America since like a very early age. Obviously, I'm 32 years old now, so it's been like 30 years of flying. And I have genuinely seen the change in both American domestic travel and international travel, where they like, through price leadership, not price fixing, mind you, price leadership, have created an environment that is like legitimately unsustainable for human life. Slowly but surely, over the course of years, they've literally made things that were obviously seen as amenities, things that were free with your ticket, become costly things that you have to purchase, all the way down to like literally only being able to bring a personal bag now in certain airlines. And for years and years, I did this thing where, out of pure resentment and spite, I've talked about air travel quite a bit. For pure personal resentment and spite, I literally never even upgraded to, in early chatters remember this, I never even upgraded to Economy Plus. Back in my day, emergency rows were free. We didn't have to pay for that shit. It was free. You would ask kindly the wonderful lady or sir that you were too tall to sit in a regular seat, and if they could put you in the emergency exit, they would always say yes. Okay? Then they started charging for that shit. But not only that, but because I'm such a stubborn, like spite-driven asshole, that I refused to even upgrade, because I was like, F that. I would literally bring, if you guys remember, I would bring my big ass bag that I would lug everywhere that had holes in it, okay? Because it was technically a carry-on, even though it actually wasn't a carry-on. It was like the size of a check-in luggage. But because I was a big dude, I would carry that shit around. Everyone used to make fun of me, okay? And then one day, I got upgraded to business class. And that's when I realized, like, what the fuck am I doing? Once my ass touched a lie flat seat, dude, my life changed. Once my ass touched a goddamn lie flat seat for a 6-hour flight, I was like, oh my God, I have literally been like, I have the capacity to buy this. What the fuck am I doing? What the absolute fuck have I been doing? I've been just like torturing myself in like insane amounts of knee pain, back pain, not even being able to Not even being able to fit on the seat without shoving my feet under the seat. Do you understand? I even talked about how my attitude, I was worried that I was going to become like out of touch as a consequence of such things, which in some ways I have. Okay? Hold on, my food is here.
I can't.
How about that last row in the DC-9? The window doesn't open. There's an engine right there, and then right across from you is the bathroom. And you got to listen to another human being take a shit behind one of those things starlets used to get undressed behind.
I'm still stuck on you defending
Stuck on you?
Still stuck on you defending commercial flights as better. Now, you can make the case that it's wrong to fly private. I get that. But I've never heard anyone make the case that it's actually better to be on Delta. That's kind of cokey. No?
Oh, no, I hate Delta. Delta's the worst.
I bet you fly private more than you're letting on.
Listen, listen. If I have to go somewhere and I don't have enough time to get there.
Oh, suddenly we've got an exception.
No, I said mainly I fly commercial.
Well, you're an idiot.
This is an insane conversation that they're having, by the way. He's so mad that he said flying commercial is valid. It's like he's mad that he's saying you should fly commercial when you can, even if you have the money to fly private. Like, that's an insane, like, how are you talking about how out of touch the kids are, bro? How? Domination. What an argument, dude.
Securing Charlie.
It honestly doesn't make any sense that he's out here being like, yeah, dude, you're crazy. You should be flying private all the time. Like, first of all, you're Bill Maher. Ain't nobody gives a shit about you, okay? You can fly commercial all day, every day. Nobody's going to be like, you're not Taylor Swift. And even then, I think Taylor Swift should still fly a commercial regardless.
You shouldn't. You know what?
What is this? If I don't agree with you, I'm an idiot.
You're right. I apologize.
Enemy sniper working.
John Varvatos shirt. You're not young. Put on a sweater, for f***'s sakes.
Put on a sweater? Why? I have to be...
At your age.
That's the secret in life. Avoid that.
No.
Don't you think?
No.
No?
Well, hey, I'm an idiot, right? No, I think the number one thing is to be your age. Like all these people, like they go to a college gig at my age. I'm gonna be 56 next month. Be 56 and come at them as a 56-year-old, and then you can give them advice on all the shit that you did. Just say, hey, this worked for me. And you can just have a great time with them. You can have a great time. What f***s you up is if you're looking at what they're wearing and, you know, you come up with your little outfit.
I don't know why this outfit, this simple shirt and pair of plain black
Can I tell you something? There is absolutely nothing wrong with what you're wearing. That's why it's so much fun. To just make fun of it. It's a little bit of a pirate shirt. You got a lot of extra material in the... You know what? That's what it is. It's this. What? First of all, you should have buttoned that if you actually were the gentleman you're trying to be.
Button this? Oh,
yeah.
You're right. But
you had a woman in your life,
right.
she wouldn't let you go on camera like that.
It's almost like we're giving you like an advanced comedy test. Like, can you make fun of this? We're just
let's not get crazy like you're a fashion.
Stormy Echoes, hey, not dogging on you. I'm really, really curious about the C-er drama. So if I call Frogan a cracker, does that work? Like the idea of a racial slur is that it's a slur targeted at a race, right? So if it's not, then that would be fine, right? I mean, you could call me a cracker. Many people do. I think it's pretty funny. I'm white. I'm sure Frogan would find it white too, or find it funny too. She is white. Fly first class. Well, not first class business. It's the same shit. But it doesn't matter. First class is just like more expensive for no reason. But once I started flying business, now I don't have that. I don't have that experience any longer. I don't. It's just the reality, right? It's just the reality. This was something that money was able to. This was something that money was able to open up for me, like the privilege of being able to fly like a human being and feel like a human and not like a piece of cattle shoved into a sardine-style tin can. Okay?
Securing C.
So you're worried it will make you out of touch? And it does. It does make you out of touch. It does. 100%.
Charlie locked down.
So, there's a diva with ethnic Santa.
kind of bland. You know,
like your opinions. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And then when I go against,
gratuitous.
then I go, ooh, a big word, another big G word. Look at you. You memorizing that part of the dictionary? I don't have kids. I got all day long. I can read the dictionary. Use my $3 words. With a guy who unloads trucks.
Why do I think there's?
Why don't we do a? We got to do a buddy movie. This is like perfect. This is Walter Matthau,
I'm
Jack
certainly
Lemmon.
not going to do a movie, but there is something about.
You seem like an actor.
There is something very mineable about this vein of comedy, of the single guy, the married guy, the pompous professor guy, and the blue collar guy. I mean, it does kind of write.
That was Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is one of the great dark comedies of all time, where you had this super smart teacher, and he had like his biggest up as a student, and then they have to somehow work. It was the Odd Couple.
You know
Fantastic.
I never watched that show, and I know everybody loves it. I'm going to watch it now because that is interesting to me.
I'll tell you what was the coolest thing about that show is, you know those, anytime you make a TV show or a movie, you always have these people that go, no, that never would have happened like that. Dude, everything that they did, right down to me and Lavelle Crawford laying on that pile of money, they figured out how much money Mr. White would have in what denominations and how high it would be to shoot those people down. When we did this train robbery scene, I got to be on that. It was so robbing a train. It was amazing. And they would whatever chemical they had in one of them, they used to make meth. So they were taking it out. My job was to stall the train. They take it out and then replace it with water. And they've had their teams figure out how long that would take. And they said, we literally had somebody that would be on the internet. That wouldn't happen like that. They said, actually, it would. The volume of water is this, the volume of that, and they would just shut them like a comedian, just chopping the head off of the loudmouth asshole in the front row. They did that while making one of the greatest shows of all time.
That is satisfying.
Oh, I already loved everybody liked the show. It was the most efficiently run. They just knew what they wanted to do. I did one of the first times I did the gig there. We got through the scene so fast, they switched my flight from the next day Southwest. They go, we can get you right now. We can go get your bags at the thing. And I felt like Elvis.
Do you have like a deal now to make more movies somewhere?
No.
No?
It doesn't exist anymore.
What?
It doesn't exist.
No more.
They don't do those.
No
They don't do like they're getting away from first look deals. Like I'm always late to the party. Like when I started stand up was right after the '80s. All the balloons were popped on the ground and everybody was getting their wages garnished.
Oh, yes. That, again, my generation ruined everything.
I didn't say you ruined. I never said that.
No, but the 80s, that's when I was starting. I mean, that's when I was a young comic.
All right, but I didn't say you ruined it.
I know.
I'm just saying, no, but it got bloated. It was on every channel, and then it went...
right.
So I used to open for guys.
It got bloated, yes.
Yeah, and I used to open for guys, and they would try to discourage me. They would be like, oh, man, I didn't know why you even started. If I was your age, I would get the out of this business. That's what they told me. And they would be like, Wednesday night, look at this. There's no...
He's even out of touch among other movie stars. Yeah, look how defensive he got. Look at how defensive he got. Oh, here we go. My generation ruined everything. Bro, you're talking to a guy who's your age, man. Like, you're literally talking to a movie star your age, and you're so triggered by this, like, notion, this, like, outside battle that you are perceived of having all the time, that you can't even have a guy like that tell you what's what. Mars, 13 years older.
Oh, yeah, 3 years ago, there'd be a line down the block. And I didn't have any deflector shields, so I would be listening. Really? Oh, my God. Should I quit? Unfortunately, I sucked at everything else in life. So I really didn't have any options.
Yeah, I didn't have a plan B either, really. I remember when I got out of college, I sent out resumes to advertising agencies. I guess I thought I could get that as a day job, be an ad man, write ad copy.
I could see that.
I could see it too. I mean, it's not that different from stand-up in a way. You're trying to be humorous and pithy and okay.
Probably talk down to a few clients, but you throw those words in and they'd be like, this guy's smart. This guy knows how to sell these widgets.
I'm telling you, when we both flame out and doing a morning talk show in Seattle, this kind of stuff is going to be gold. it's Fart Man and Asshole Jack.
Oh, that was morning radio. Morning radio was always a real name, and then, you know, Eddie and the Bulldog. It was always something like that. We got Wild Man Vermouth with Jerry. It was always a regular name, then something crazy.
So there's no more three-picture deals, no more like deals at streaming services?
I shouldn't say that.
Don't they need
for someone like me?
Really?
When you're a bald ginger in Hollywood, it's basically...
But didn't Old Dads do very well?
Yes, it did.
Then why...
Can we stop talking about rich assholes if it's not to dissect class war, please? Who cares about rich assholes? The f*** are we doing reacting to them? Thank you, base chatter. Your contributions to the Maoist-Leninist project has been noted. I am going to give myself 4 lashes specifically for the counter-revolutionary sentiment that I've expressed by looking at these bourgeois traitorous scum who are actually doing their very best in line with their class interests. I have once again done a no growth. I will absolutely engage in praxis. Thank you. Thank you so much for your statement. Wasn't Old Dad reactionary? I don't know. I don't watch all of the shit that he makes.
During the strike, it was
Chad really thinks watching us on is activism. This is entertainment at the end of the day. Thank you. Yes. One of them is acting according to his class position, at least. Yeah, you have someone who's like a relative class traitor versus someone who is absolutely one of the best classist pieces of shit. And I think that this is a perfect demonstration, especially because they're both famous and a lot of people pay attention to what they have to say, and a lot of people will pay attention to what my analysis is overall of what they have to say. None of which is activism regardless. Yes. In the words of Patrick Bet-David, this is valuetainment.
Let me, for everyone who worked on that movie, Bobby Cannavale and all of those amazing actors and everybody,
I like him.
Patrick Don Vito, everybody helped me edit the thing, Ben Tish, we're all of them. We were #1 globally on Netflix 2 weekends in a row, and it streamed like 50 million.
Because who around the world doesn't understand the concept of Old Dads? Certainly in Pakistan.
We just made a good movie.
No, so, okay, so riddle me this about the business.
Was there a compliment, the thanks?
What?
There was no compliment in that.
Actually, there was.
Kind of shit on it, like you didn't think that it went global.
No.
I didn't say in Pakistan they were watching. They might have. You don't think there's some old dads there?
No. What I said, it was.
Oh, that's right.
It was,
you figured out the Middle East. I forgot.
Hit. No. I found a way to craftily get a very good compliment into you.
Well, that's what it is.
Without making it look
so
like
clever.
one. Because I am the pompous professor, my friend.
I like it.
I know you do. So anyway, but riddle me this about the business, because I'm always reading, as we're always talking of people at dinner when we're in this town and we're all in the business, and we're talking about the changing and the streaming and everything. Why is it, if a movie does well like that, then there isn't at least an offer to do the next one?
Because the people running it now, they're kind of doing like what Germany did, where they tried to take over the whole world, and you can't do that because there's just so many people don't want that. But there's always something in every business, like Amazon or Walmart. They're always trying, let's open up across from this mom and pop and put them out of business, and we'll be the only show in town. Like,
that's such a funny way to describe that. You are not an activist. I'm not, dude. I'm not. Okay, shut the fuck up. It's not activism to watch YouTube videos, okay? I don't have hate in my heart for anyone, but this piece of shit irks me to my core. His voice, he's such an alcoholic. Yeah. Bill Maher has the tendency to, I think, do agitative propaganda in the direction of the working class by just behaving in the ways that he does. Like, I think him and Elon do overtime converting people. Not to brag, but I just emailed my representatives using a pre-filled email from JVP. Nail care. Meanwhile, you're watching Bill versus Bill. Keep it up, sweaty. Respect. I love that.
There's just always people doing that.
You glaze him so hard. Dude, you didn't understand what I was talking about. I literally am not even talking about Bill Burr. I'm talking about Bill Maher and saying he's a piece of shit. And his behavior is so smug and so elitist and so out of touch that he unironically converts people towards being pro-labor in order not to be on this asshole side.
So what does that to do with hiring a guy who just had a big hit movie to do another hit movie? If you want to take over the
streaming
world,
service have devalued art. Where back in the day you used to pay $10 to go see a movie. Now $20 you get all.
even talking
you get
about art.
all
We're
the
talking
movies.
about
That's what I'm
six-
talking
we're
about.
talking about
You ask me a
six-
question, I'm trying to answer it.
we're talking about success. The movie.
Why don't you just tell me what it is rather than ask me? We can save some time.
I'm asking because I don't understand. The movie had success. Doesn't matter if it was art or not.
And I can tell you what happened to me. I went back and I pitched another movie to 2 junior executives, and I waited 6 weeks to get an offer that it was just like it never happened. Still starting out like that movie never happened. And that's kind of like, that's how the acting world, that's why I think being an actor is so much harder than being a comedian. Because if I come through town, first time I headline your club, I draw okay, but you see I'm funny. Take another chance on this guy. I come back, even if the same 30 people show up, but you see I have a whole new act, they see it. And you've proven you're funny. I don't have to reprove that I'm funny.
No.
Again, we're an actor. This actor's with an Oscar. And there's people going, yeah, I don't know, can they play that? It's like they won the highest award. And I have empathy for actors for the lack of control they have. First of all, you do the performance, and if you're not in the edit, especially if it's a comedy,
right,
and you get the wrong guy editing it, they're gonna leave you hanging out to dry. Like, the actors really are like the quarterback of the team, where it's like, if you win, you're Joe Montana. If you lose, you're a bust. And like a lot of times, and as you're making a movie, you have no idea how it's gonna come together.
No idea. I've been on enough movies to know it is just always a mystery. There's so many things that can go wrong.
Are they going to promote it? I did this really, really great movie, Front Runner.
Bill Burr did not do a good job in this debate. All he did was ad hominem Bill Maher for having more class than him.
And it came out the same weekend as Aquaman. And it was just, I saw one of the stars promote it for like 2 days.
Yeah, I never heard
And then the next time I saw him, he was promoting his next project. And I said, oh my God, they're burying it.
Chatters, he's joking. Calm down. Jesus Christ. He's obviously joking. Oh my God. I know the environment is stressful right now because we watched Bonarelli clips earlier. But goddamn, son, dial it back a little bit. We're having a little bit of fun, okay?
It's not going to get, and it's
What
just.
was it on?
What was it? It was in the movie theaters.
It was in the theater.
Yeah.
I mean, most.
It was. You would have liked the movie. It was about Gary Hart.
I would have watched it. Gary Hart.
And it was about the first politician.
Never heard of
where they went into his personal life, and there was this big debate.
What did you play?
I played one of the reporters for the Miami Herald, and the big thing was.
Oh yeah.
There was like a battle. At the paper, they had this great scene where it's like, we can't run this because we'll be like a tabloid. And then the big thing was Gary Hart said, hey, I'm an open book, go ahead, look at everything.
Right.
He said that because infidelity, Teflon Don, none of it's 4 years. Bill Clinton comes in, and he's like the Teflon Don. None of it sticks to him. And he still ends up getting elected and does 2 terms. Like, he must have been thinking like, oh, I could have done that.
I hate how Mar used to be this hero for stoners, and now he can't even drink a glass of whiskey and smoke a J without sounding like he's about to pass out. You should be able to do that easily. Pathetic. He also, I'm going to watch this in a second. I know. He also personally literally had like actual like problematic, but I wouldn't say problematic, radical takes, right? Like religious Bill Maher, like back then, yeah, sure, he was still like an Islamophobe and whatever, but he also had smoke for a lot of other, for all of the other religions. But beyond that, he straight up said that 9/11 attackers, like him or hate him, are actually participating in an act of bravery in comparison to what we do, which is lob missiles from thousands of miles away. That is A literal take. That's a bill. That is a cert. He's the original 9/11 Andy. He said, doesn't matter what you think. You want to talk about bravery. The 9/11 attackers used box cutters to take a plane and drive it directly into the Twin Towers. That is, and that was, by the way, like 2 days after 9/11. He said that, I think, within the 24-hour time frame or something like that. Like it was an unimaginable quote. He said, it's not brave to kill people, in my opinion. Yeah, no shit. This is not even the hype up to the, Muhammad Atta and shit. Okay, it simply is a statement about the way that this conflict plays out, the way that this conflict unfolds. Okay, we talk about the bravery. Yeah, we have been cowards, lobbing cruise missiles from 2,000 miles away. That's cowardly. Staying in the airplane when it hits the building, say what you want about it, not cowardly. That's what he said.
On Politically Incorrect, the show that once followed this.
And he was unimaginably canceled. Like, he literally was canceled for that. His show was canceled for that. Like, I'm shocked that his life wasn't canceled for that. I feel like if he was Muslim, they would have killed him.
He made this infamous comment less than a week after 9/11.
We have... Yeah, okay, it was a week. It was less than a week after 9/11. Think about how insane that is. People canceled me because I said America deserved 9/11, like almost 20 years after the fact. This motherfucker literally said it like in the week. There were still Americans under the rubble at that point. Okay? We had not even made an accurate assessment of the accurate death toll. And this motherfucker, you know what's brave? 9/11 attackers.
They're cowards. Lobbing cruise missiles from 2,000 miles away. That's cowardly.
That is a
Staying in the airplane when it hits the building. Say what you want about it, not cowardly.
Now, what's ironic about that statement is that he's basically saying what I have said as well in a different way, which is 9/11 is America's chickens come home to roost moment, right? Like, obviously, if you keep meddling in the affairs of the Middle East over and over again and lob cruise missiles over and over again in the Middle East, like, someone's gonna be like, all right, f you then, right? That's basically what he's saying. He's saying it's like unironically cowardly to do that where the f we're at. And then, of course, it's going to end up, of course it's going to end up hurting us, okay? The timing is everything in comedy, and making a 9/11 joke on 9/12 is impeccable timing. Yeah. So what I find really interesting, what I find particularly illuminating about like the career trajectory of Bill Maher after that is that like he obviously recovered from that. It took a long time to recover. And I think that broke his mind on like, I guess that broke his mind on one, cancel culture in general, because he actually did eat that cancel culture dick. And he also leaned into more reactionary attitudes that he had towards Muslims, which was like a perfectly permissible target. It was a valid target. It was a target that everybody loved when he got edgy on. And I think that's what it is. It didn't take that long. He immediately got a show on HBO a few years later, less than 5 years later. Are you kidding me? 5 years is an insane gap in your resume. That's 5 whole years, bro. You can't say immediate. Yeah, that is a valid cancellation. Like, and valid is in like, not that people were valid for canceling him. I'm saying that was a real cancellation. That actually was a cancellation. Bro was unemployed for 5 years and you just said, oh, that's nothing, dude. He's rich. He can withstand it. It's like he was basically in the beginning of his career too. Like, I mean, it wasn't beginning, but like, that dude went from network TV to premium cable. I know he still found a way to overcome it. I don't think you guys understand. Okay. He said something that was bold at a time when statement far kinder than that was considered unimaginable. Okay? The point I was trying to make here is that I think played a role in his radicalization. That I think played a role in the way he operates.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I could have just went like, you know, I did not have sexual relations. I love the look of determination. I did not. like I always wondered if he stood in the mirror and got that bottom lip.
He was
Way to follow the script, boys.
But I'm still so puzzled by this, though, that I mean, just in their interest, you'd think it would be in their interest if you did something that was successful for them to want to, that's all, I mean, you could always count on that in showbiz. Art is just always, that if you're lucky, it coincides with their business interests. But profit, success, people bought it, that's what they care about. That's what I don't understand about this. It's in their interest. So something is very fucked up in this media age we live in when success is not rewarded. And I've heard a lot of people say that about streaming, that success is not rewarded like directly like it was back in the day. You bought a record that went to #1. You know, people actually went to the store and bought it. We knew which was most popular. Same thing with movies, the box office, like streaming.
Yeah, now like streamers, they're holding all the cards. It's like Stripes. Remember Stripes, that great scene? John Candy, he's looking, yeah, man, you lost again. He's looking at his cards and shit. Like, you know, they give you the numbers and it's just like, how do I know that